The purpose of our immigration system is for the benefit of American citizens, not foreigners or anybody else. Why are our Democrat colleagues so determined to flood our country with millions of illegal aliens? And I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's because they benefit from it politically.
Let that sink in for a second. The immigration system exists to serve American citizens, not the entire world, and somehow that's now considered controversial. It's not. It's basic common sense. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. What you just watched might be one of the most powerful moments we've seen in Congress in a long time. Congressman Brandon Gill just dropped a truth bomb so strong it cut through all the political noise. And what followed next was one of the strangest, most confusing, and downright bizarre counterarguments you'll ever hear from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. We're going to break this entire exchange down, because what's happening here is a deliberate attempt to twist reality and mislead the American people, but Gill wasn't having any of it. This one's a must-watch, folks. So before we roll the full clip, if you stand for common sense, national security, and putting America first, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell because you do not want to miss this breakdown. Alright, let's dive in. This one's huge.
I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great in this country. So, interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists. And so the last unanimous consent that I'd asked for is this article that states that white supremacists behind over 80% of extremism-related U.S. murders in 2022.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing excites me more than the thought of President Trump initiating the largest deportation operation in American history. I'd like to remind the committee that the purpose of our immigration system is for the benefit of American citizens, not foreigners or anybody else. For the past 4 years, Democrats have facilitated the invasion of over 10 million illegal aliens into our country. Open borders grow the welfare state, they depress American wages, strain our education and healthcare system, price our working class out of owning a home, and flood our communities with violence and drugs. Mr. Beer, and as well as my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, you're intellectualizing about illegal alien crime notwithstanding. I'd like to remind you that the correct number of American citizens murdered or raped by illegal aliens is 0. Americans have learned firsthand that importing the third world will turn America into the third world. So in light of the chaos of the past 4 years, the question that has come up earlier is, why are our Democrat colleagues so determined to flood our country with millions of illegal aliens? And I'd like to suggest that perhaps it's because they benefit from it politically. Remember that every state is apportioned congressional seats based on population, not based on citizenship. Counting non-citizens in congressional apportionment has resulted in more seats for blue states and fewer congressional seats for red states. For instance, excluding non-citizens, California would have an estimated 3 fewer congressional seats. In Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, traditionally red states would each have an estimated 1 additional seat. Right now, in a political environment where Republicans have a 2-seat majority in the House of Representatives, the presence of millions of illegal aliens in America could quite literally change the balance of power in our country.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
The ultimate goal of mass illegal immigration is mass amnesty and citizenship for illegal aliens, which of course means ultimately allowing them to vote. And that's not a conspiracy theory either. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer himself said it just 2 years ago, and I'm quoting him, "Our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here." That is their words, not mine. And it appears that for the past 4 years, providing a path to citizenship for illegal aliens is precisely what the Biden administration has been doing.
Okay, wow, that was wild. Let's unpack what just happened because Representative Jasmine Crockett's response was all over the place. She starts off by accusing Brandon Gill and other Republicans of turning immigrants into villains and lacking compassion, a predictable talking point. But then she takes a completely strange turn, bringing up the horrific mass shootings in Buffalo, Charleston, and El Paso, asking the witness, was the shooter an immigrant? Naturally, the answer is no, they were US-born citizens. And that's when she acts like she's cracked some big code, linking it all to white supremacy. Excuse me, what? What does that have to do with illegal immigration? Absolutely nothing. It's a total deflection, smoke and mirrors to distract from the real issue. Just because we have criminals born here doesn't mean we should throw open the borders and invite more chaos. That's like saying, my kitchen's already on fire, so let's torch the living room too. Makes zero sense. Gill was laser-focused on illegal immigration, the millions crossing the border unchecked, not legal immigrants who came the right way. But Crockett keeps blurring that line on purpose, using the general term immigrants to make it sound like anyone who wants a secure border is anti-immigrant. It's a cheap political trick meant to guilt people into silence. But Gill doesn't take the bait, he stays calm, focused, and brings the argument back to reality. He points out that illegal immigration has real consequences for American citizens: lower wages, crowded schools, strained hospitals, and a welfare system under pressure. That's not racism. That's reality. Then Gill exposes the truth that no one wants to talk about. This isn't about compassion. It's about politics. He explains that congressional seats and electoral votes are based on total population, not just citizenship. So states like California get more power because they count millions of non-citizens, while states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia lose representation. The system literally rewards those who ignore the border crisis. And if you think that sounds like a conspiracy, Senator Chuck Schumer himself admitted it. He openly said the goal is to grant citizenship to all 11 million undocumented immigrants. Gill quotes him word for word, using their own statements as proof. And here's the kicker: Trump won Pennsylvania by about 120,000 votes, but there are roughly 150,000 illegal immigrants living there. Give them all citizenship and voting rights, and poof, the state flips blue forever. That's the game plan. This isn't about kindness. It's about securing permanent power. Brandon Gill sees it, calls it out, and defends the truth with clarity, logic, and courage. So what do you think? Did Jasmine Crockett make any sense? Or did Gill completely expose the political playbook? Drop your thoughts below. I'm betting this one's going to light up the comments.